If you are interested in starting your own podcast, we use Buzzsprout because it is simple and easy to use. Buzzsprout can get your show listed on every major platform while giving you the resources for a great podcast website, audio players that can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening to your podcast, and tools to promote your episodes. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and that is why over 100,000 podcasters are already subscribed to Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Following the link in our episode descriptions lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you. So in return, you will receive a $20 Amazon gift card from Buzzsprout while signing up for a paid plan. Most importantly, every subscription through our link is always appreciated and helps support our show so we can continue delivering the quality content that you guys listen to. That being said, back to the show.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Junkies. I'm Andrew,
This is Joe.
and this time we're looking at the number one book, well, the top 10 of the most well-reviewed, I guess, current books. So anything you're in your pull list right now, anything you're currently reading, that's what this is going to be. You know what? Before we get into it, little segue here. I've been cutting promos lately, and I notice that my eyes start darting all around. But now that I'm like actively trying to not like look upwards like the Undertaker, I'm having a harder time focusing, honestly. So I think in order for me to flow, I gotta have like crazy eyes or something. It's like when I'd play guitar and keep my mouth open. You know, everyone has that guitar face, bro. Don't tell me you don't know.
Stay loco, bro. I noticed that too, but I think it's because we're so trained on podcasting and we haven't ever considered the visual element of this.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a little bit of growing pains, but I'm having fun doing it.
No, I agree. And yeah, ever since we got some laptop upgrades over here, I've been able to cut promos. Hopefully you guys like those. I find it to be pretty fun. I find like 6 minute long clips, but they only let me post them in 3 minute chunks. So that's why you've been getting a couple at a time. We'll see what you get moving forward. But back to the show. Like I said, top 10 books, anything current right now. We're getting this data off of comicbookroundup.com. In case you're not familiar, Joe got me hip to it. It's kind of like an aggregate review site. So I feel like it's probably the best review site right now. I don't really know. I guess I don't keep up with who's best.
What was that website back in the day? They used to do reviews, and I feel like this kind of filled the void, but also it's not super accurate because they do their best because I think they're pulling different
It's user
reviews
data.
from different websites, which is nice, and then like kind of get like a nice little sample and kind of rate it according to all these different reviews, which I think is completely fair. But if a book has a little bit of reviews and the sample isn't as big, it can be really high or really low. Whereas a book, if it's really reviewed, then you kind of get a more accurate rating.
Yeah, and it gives you some poll data, and I mean, obviously, this is people who actually take time to review the book. There may be a ton of people, obviously, who don't go outward and like actually try and type on the internet and let people know what to think about it or what they think about it. So obviously, this data set is kind of limited in what it is, but it's a nice like thought experiment to kind of see like get a pulse of like what the scene's about right now. Because you know us, we're kind of stuck in our ways. Joe is a bit more adventurous. He gets a little bit more titles than me. I'm shrinking to the opposite end. I'm almost out altogether, but I'm holding on. There's a few good things out right now I'm still reading, but you know what I mean? So this is a good way for us to kind of get out of our comfort zone, kind of see what other people really are feeling, because a lot of the people that we talk to are probably pretty like-minded, or other people just don't bring it up what they're reading. So it's nice to kind of see the general public sentiment, even if it is kind of limited in scope.
I like to
Cool.
dabble, not necessarily like actually pick up this stuff and read it. So, not an expert on any of this stuff, but it's kind of good to know what's current and have a pulse on that kind of stuff because, to Berger's point, we're definitely more Silver Age, Bronze Age key comic collectors. But being a comic book junkie, I kind of like to know what's going on, regardless
Yeah.
if I participate. And then part of that too is just like, I feel like the storytelling in comic books haven't been the same, but once in a while a title will pop off, and websites like this might get us hip to like something
Yeah.
that is good that's current. So
Yeah. Well, oh, before we get into that though, we're very hard break. I did get a book. Wife and I went on a comic adventure. So this one shop that Joe and I went to back in the day, he was actually at a different spot at a pawn shop by our Chinese Japanese joint. Pretty cool. Joe got like you got a Harley Quinn off him, and I know you got some other cool stuff. Once upon a time, I got an Iron Man issue 1 from his first solo series out of there. So he's had decent stuff. He'd take it to shows and stuff like that. Then he just closed up shop, disappeared for a while, and then just came back on the scene like within the past month. But now he's in like the warehouse district, like a city over. Like it's like straight up an industrial park. It's like, okay, well, cool. Like if you go during the day, you might see like like high lows and stuff, like loading trucks. So like whatever. But he's like, come in, knock, see what's up. It was mostly dollar books right now. It looks like he has a good amount of stuff, but I did find a key issue for a good price. Well, it's got its faults, but ultimately still a pretty good deal, especially if you're low grade or no grade type person. X-Men 94, obviously the start of like that Claremont run, picking up from Giant Size X-Men, the first new stories, the second appearance of basically that whole second team again, second full Wolverine, everything like that. Classic cover, kind of a weird cover, but a cool cover. And yeah, they're asking 195 raw, and it's got some staining on it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's not bad. I had Jazz there with me. She's looking at it. She's like, it doesn't present too bad. And I was like, for a raw copy that's complete and attached, like pretty good. I was ready to pounce at that price, and I was just like, he's running Whatnot shows, so I go in between shows, and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in this. And I hand it to him, and he's like, how you paying? I'm like, card. And he's just like, 160. I said, oh, okay. And I was just like, bet. Paid instantly and just got the fuck out of there because, like I said, it's like nighttime. It's snowing here in Michigan. It's cold. It's dark. It's snowing. I think football was on Thursday night game that wasn't that good, but still, like I was just like, it's time to go, and I'm happy. Need to take you guys up there.
I would love that. And I feel like that guy's always been fair with pricing because the Harley Quinn that I got from him, I want to say I traded that like first modern Jason Todd as Red Hood.
You did.
In like $75 for a Harley Quinn. Granted, mine is a stain too. This guy likes stained comic books, but
stained comic books, maybe.
he prices them fairly though.
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
What can you do?
No, I appreciate it. He was real ass, so I was like, you know what? I appreciate that. I mean, he's just getting back into the game too, so I'm sure it doesn't hurt to make a sale. I mean, I showed up. I was there at 8 p.m. in the warehouse in the dark with my wife. She was there just to make sure they didn't take my kidneys, but she was just like, yeah, why not? Let's go. Pretty cool. But I digress. Let's get into the show now. Did you have any pickups before we go?
No, but I was very happy for you. It was very reminiscent of that FF49 I picked up. Like just some like randomly large comic book out of nowhere. And I feel like as long as it's complete and attached and like there's not stuff missing, that's like a $400 book.
Nothing missing. I went through every page with Jazz. As soon as I got home, I ripped it out. I was like, you're going into Mylar. And it's got some staining like on the logo, which probably hurts the most of any of the staining it has, but like I can deal with it for like the floor. Like you said, you can get up to a few $100 for one of those. Like a 3.0s are at least 350. With the staining, maybe it doesn't present as well as some of the 3.0s. Maybe it does, but like for half the price, I'll take it, especially for a big book. And with that, see what you guys are reading now, or at least what you think is good. So
yeah, this is you guys, not us.
Yeah, can't hold me to it. Number 10, Assorted Crisis Events from 2025. I'll be honest, I haven't even heard of that.
I have. When it came out, it had a pretty good review, so I've been keeping an eye on it because I'm not opposed to collecting Image, but I'm not familiar with the creative team. What I like about Comic Book Roundup is if you click on some of the issues, you get a little preview of what's inside of the book sometimes, and it didn't look so good where I had to collect it because I'm mostly a Marvel and DC guy. If it's an Image book, I have to have like a hard reason to collect it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of waiting to see how the reviews would stack up over time, but it seems like it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, for not knowing much about it, looks like they got a Polish artist. Pretty cool.
Love
Represent.
that.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know a whole lot. Kind of sounds like something they'd name like a multi-pack at like a Dollar Tree that DC would put out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what they're into.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they might get sued for that. Who knows? But cool. Good for them. Moving on to number 9, Space Ghost from Dynamite Entertainment. Now
this has to be all on title, right? Because I'm not collecting anything by Dynamite. No shade.
Dynamite.
But I feel like you have to have some kind of legit status before I start paying $4 or $5 a book for something.
Yeah.
And if it's coming from Dynamite, Dynamite, I'm not that interested. And I'm okay to lose out on the one-offs that are good because there's some great independent artists and writers, but like it has to come from one of the big three for me. I'm sorry.
I don't even know who these folk are. Not no disrespect to them. I'm just not familiar. So I don't know the quality of their work that would get me to buy books like that, to take that chance. Because sometimes like if you want the title, you need the creative team, especially if it's going to be at a company like any lesser than the big three. Like maybe I'll go get something that Grant Morrison does for some like weird British publisher or something. What was that? No, I think that's the horny one, isn't it? The Xenoscope? Isn't that the horny chick covers? Oh man, I remember seeing a billion of those. No, there's some other one. Grant Morrison did write a book. Remember the one with the ant head?
Yes, I do.
Annihilator?
Annihilation or
Annihilator.
Annihilator? Yeah.
Yeah, what company was that at? That's what I'm talking about. Like I read that, and that's a company I've never even heard of.
I'm guilty
And
of doing the same thing. One time I bought some book that Alan Moore did by like Avatar Press or something like
I
that
think that's
called
this one.
Providence, but like it'd have to be a pretty big hitter for me to sway off of one of the big three.
I did read. Oh, that was from Legendary Comics. Wow, I don't even know what they do. Is that like the movie theater? Like the film? It looks like a similar logo. Yeah, it is. Legendary Entertainment. Interesting. Well, see, I bought from them apparently. And then what was the Cinema Purgatoria? Was that Avatar? Because I was reading that for a minute. Like once upon a time, believe it or not, kids, I did read independent stuff. I don't do it much anymore. Kinda. I like my Coke and whiskey. I don't want to drink a Four Loko. I'm not. It's like more boom bust. You know what I'm saying? Like it's either gonna be a complete waste of money or it probably will still be a complete waste of money. Let's see what the publisher is. I'm vamping here, but I'm not even typing, dude. I'm the king of multitasking. That was Avatar Press as well. You said you read some Alan Moore stuff? It wasn't
Yeah.
that, was it?
No, it was. No, it was Providence. It was called Providence and it was made by Avatar Press. I want to say that's like the last thing I have known him to like rate in the comic book medium. And so that's kind of why I jumped on it. And it was an okay read, but to your point, it would have to be like a legendary artist or writer for me to even humor it.
Facts. And now you guys know how we feel about independent books again.
For sure, because I feel like this exercise kind of gets us into the psyche of how we collect modern.
Yeah, but to cap it off, this actually was about Space Ghost and not the whole Dynamite entertainment aspect of it. I haven't heard a whole lot about it. Space Ghost is objectively cool. I mean, even though it's obviously not the same like characterization as the funny Adult Swim show and, the classic like that, but I mean, still Space Ghost is sick. I mean, costume goes hard, plus he's cool from his General Media Association. Maybe it's cool. I have no idea.
Well said, Burger.
And let's take another look. Number 8. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2024. And
I'm not gonna collect IDW publishing either. I appreciate that they try to make
I'll take you one further.
certain titles, but like I'm not collecting just on nostalgia.
No, and I'll take you one further. I'm not collecting Ninja Turtles. Hand up, hot take, not a Ninja Turtle guy. Don't know what to tell you. If you love Ninja Turtles, good for you. I don't hate, I just don't partake. I'm standing on the sidelines of the Ninja Turtles. I'm not necessarily invested in the game though. I don't know what it is. It just wasn't my bag. Maybe it was slightly before me. Maybe it's not because William came slightly after us and he loves them shits. So like, I don't know. It just missed me. I was into other stuff at the time, I guess. So it is what it is. But I always hear that Ninja Turtles is usually pretty good. I mean, they've been doing interesting things lately, at least. Ninja Turtles is an alive property. I'm not surprised that the Ninja Turtles got some respect on their name. I'm just not partaking.
No, I agree. I've never been a Ninja Turtle fan myself. I do think the first appearance is a good investment, but I'm not a fan of the title. It looks like they got Jason Aaron writing this, which is a pretty big pull. It looks like the artists have kind of changed.
As they do.
Yeah, so nobody too consistent on the title. I mean, if you really like Ninja Turtles, I feel like this wouldn't be like a bad pickup.
No.
But I personally am not gonna participate like Burger.
Facts. Well, if you're enjoying it, you enjoy it. I hear a lot of people are enjoying number seven, Absolute Batman 2024. Now, I hear that the Absolute line in general is doing really well. I hear that DC is getting all kinds of market share. I hear that, this is the new hotness, even more so than the Ultimate Comics. DC's doing well on all fronts, it seems, right before they get sold. Hope that goes well. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of hard to miss with Batman. People always crave more of the same, but they also love when they can associate it with something completely new. And that's what I think Absolute Batman is because he's way bigger. He's not rich, I guess. Like he's antithetical to Batman because Batman is a big guy, but he's not like comically large. He don't work a day job, stuff like that. And apparently this guy's real brutal. I mean, people love the 90s. People crave violence. I mean, I feel like hand over fist.
You know what? This is actually a book I'm collecting and not reading.
Interesting. If I read everything I do collect, maybe that's why I cut down so much.
I didn't
But
like it.
no.
No, it's not that good to me.
As someone who hasn't read it, I kind of have the same sentiment. I'm like, there's no way it's as good as everyone's saying. But maybe my standards or something. But I haven't read it. Hand up. I don't know for sure.
People love Scott Snyder. He's got a pretty good understanding of Batman, but there's just something about it that like it wants to be Batman Beyond, but isn't. And I just think that what they're doing with the characters is a little too much.
Yeah.
It's a stretch for all of the characters. Like you look at the most recent issue with like the Joker on the cover, he looks terrible.
Oh yeah, he's like a lizard.
Yeah, like that's stupid to me. Like it's kind of cringy, but wants to come off as 90s. But the reason
Yeah.
I'm collecting it is because like every issue is like $20 right now. And like
Wow.
issue one is like going for like $100 to $300. So the
What?
collector in me kind of just wants to sell the set when I'm done with it. I already see eBay listings for like 250, 350 for just what's out so far.
Wow.
Yeah, people like this. Like every issue is like 15, 20. It's like the same type of price demand that like Immortal Hulk did, but it's not really for me.
Yeah, it's not for me. I didn't even attempt to get it. Maybe that's just my inaction. I mean, I hear what people are saying. It's just maybe I don't believe you. And kind of similar to that is number six. I keep hearing a lot of good things about DCKO, Night Fight. Well, maybe not Night Fight specifically, but I'm hearing decent stuff about this DCKO stuff. I don't know if I believe that either. You know how many times the carrot's been dangled in front of me and I go for it, bro? Every time I'm like, no, I'm not taking my shirt off to go in the pool. They keep making me take my shirt off. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, why do I keep buying this, bro? The events always suck, and then they just lead into nothing except, they're like, ooh, here's the new status quo. 4 issues. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. And then next crossover. And I'm just like, I'm tired of being tricked.
Don't show them your chest burger.
No, I won't.
No, I agree. Like, when was the last good event for Marvel or DC?
I mean, if you count House of X and Powers of X, Powers of 10, I would count that. Other than that, we're going back a while, like probably before I was even collecting, to be honest.
So the whole bracket kind of appeals to me, and that's as far as it gets. Like sometimes I like the idea of who's stronger, this person or that person, but it's not even that simple. I bet like all this like
Mm.
DC KO stuff has like a whole fleshed out storyline. Like,
Yeah,
nah, bro, let me just see who fights and wins. Like if you're gonna do something like that.
that's kind of how I feel. Because, like, don't get us wrong. OGs know I'm a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho. So was Joe. The tournament arc was peak. Like, it's probably the best one ever. But something for it just doesn't, like, the concept just doesn't work to me when it's just always hero versus hero type stuff, you know? Like, there was maybe a couple villains thrown in, it seems, like the Joker and Harley Quinn, I'm sure. But, like, what are we doing? Like, we make them fight every event. Like, what doesn't make it special? And to be crowned King Omega? Are you kidding me? That's the best name you could come up with, King Omega. And okay, so I don't know, man. And that beats Darkseid. Like, that's why the Absolute Universe is a thing. Like, what are we doing?
Preach, brother.
I just don't get it. Like, why is this distracting from what could be good books just minding their own business? And we're gonna have like a watered down tournament arc that doesn't even make sense. And I bet Aquaman wins. So like, you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be King Omega now because he's king of the ocean. Like, it's gonna be like the dumbest stuff. And if you you enjoy it, good for you. I'm sure it's so fun. You totally won't get to the end of it and regret it and be like, wow, this went out with a whimper, not a bang. So there you go.
Hell yeah, brother.
Damn right. Superman, the kryptonite spectrum. Superman's on the spectrum. And I don't know anything about it. So
No, in fact, I won't collect it because it's against everything that Superman stands for. Because they got the guy writing that like stupid ice cream book.
oh, the ice cream man.
Yeah, writing this.
W. Maxwell Prince.
And Superman's such a wholesome character, and then they got a guy like that writing a Superman title. Get the fuck out of here. No, bro. And you could even look at this last issue with his fingers coated with all different colors of kryptonite. Like, no, bro, I'm not
He's gonna
doing
shove him in
that.
Lex Luthor's butt.
That's what it looks like. I didn't want to say that on the pod, but like, why your fingers look like that?
That's crazy, dog. Yeah. I don't know what that's about. And typically I would love to
Support
say,
Superman.
yeah, we support Superman here. Great guy. Never met him. But, like, I don't know. I can't full-throatedly say that I would support this one. But what I can finally support is number
Superman
4.
doesn't need to be a Black Label comic. Okay, now we can go to number 4.
No, get it in, bro. You have to tell your truths. It doesn't need to be a Black Label book.
No, you got
Number
characters like the Punisher for that and the Wolverine or whatever, but not and Batman, but not Superman, bro. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like doing a Black Label Little House on the Prairie. It's like, okay.
Sure. Damn, gone with the wind. Absolute. But no, number 4 to finally right the ship, in my opinion. Absolute Martian Manhunter. Now, I like Martian Manhunter. I feel like his main universe books are not doing well whenever they give him one. I feel like those are misguided. I feel like also he doesn't have, I mean, he likes Oreos and he's very stern and like, but also helpful. So like, good guy, but not overly done character work with Martian Manhunter. He's pretty stoic. So I like that they can kind of take the concept and turn that into a new blank canvas because I feel like they did it tastefully. And I really support what they're doing. I feel like they're pushing a little bit of boundaries for modern books in the art department. Like, I like the concepts they're doing. The writing's been cool. Great book. I would love to continue it. Hopefully it does. I don't know how long lasting the universe is going to be for that absolute stuff, but I'll take as much Absolute Martian Manhunter as I can get.
It's a step in the right direction for sure. And to your point, it's a character that you can be more creative with.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the writing is sound. The art is phenomenal. I think it's a book worth pulling.
Yeah, it's probably not my favorite thing, but it's honestly pretty close, especially because I'm so disillusioned, disenchanted with the state of modern books and like what I will actually pay money for to read. But it meets everything that I would require. And it's kind of, I guess it's cool. It doesn't feel like it ties in or is talked about as much in the Absolute universe as like a whole thing, with the big 3 other titles going on. But I like that it's kind of just off doing its own thing.
No, I agree. I just wish it would come out more often, but it sounds like it's going to pick back up here shortly.
Yeah, they were supposed to take a siesta because I think it was supposed to be like an initial run, but then they gave them the extra runway to do a little bit more. I think they extended it. So, I'll take a couple month break if that means I can get more of it. I'm not in a rush to get it, but it's cool to grab. But I'd say due to time constraints, do we just cut it there or do we just want to run through the last 3 and just list them off?
Considering we don't really read too much of this stuff, we'll just get through the last 3 pretty quick. So what I'll say about Absolute Wonder Woman, which is the number 3 book on this list, I don't think it looks bad. It's just not for me.
No, it's not for me either.
They're not writing it for Berger and I.
No,
but I
they
don't
hardly
think it's
do.
a bad book. So, I mean, if it looks interesting to you, I don't think it's a bad idea to take a flyer on it. And if you like it, let us know.
Yeah, and I think Wonder Woman is just begging for any good content, really. So, like, it's worth the flyer if maybe it's different. At least it's different.
Yeah, the art doesn't look bad. It's just not really my thing.
Yeah, and then number 2 is Zatanna, which I haven't heard. Maybe I just forgot, but I don't feel like I've heard a ton about. And maybe this is archaic to some, but much like me listening to Taylor Swift, that's how I'd feel buying a Zatanna book. It's just not going to happen. It's a bit too girly for me. I love the character, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what I'm going to follow or relate to in her solo adventures. I feel like they're hardly ever worth it.
Yeah, I feel like the draw might be that the writer and the artist is the same, so it's just one guy with a creative vision for the character. But
Superstar Jamal,
point, it looks pretty girly.
Yeah, Jamal's writing it girly like,
which is kind of weird. Guys that are
Right and girly.
Writing early.
Through the frame of a woman.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how you developed those skills, but you're basically taking opportunities away from people
Yeah.
that might be good at something like that.
We admonish you.
Yeah.
Stop it. But number one, feels like this makes a lot of sense. Transformers, heard a lot of great things. I read some of it, fell off after like the first arc or so. It wasn't, or maybe it was just the first issue or two. No, I got a few, but either way, it just wasn't my thing. I hear that Kirkman is on it now, or he was coming on it. So that kind of made me interested in getting back on. But I don't know. Something just didn't click with me in the first three issues, despite me hearing that it's consistently been great. I will say its counterpart, G.I. Joe, is my shit, though. So maybe I am just missing out. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta support Robert Kirkman where I can. I've been collecting it
He
the
needs
whole
it.
time. But the art was pretty bad for me up until the till Kirkman came
For
to the title.
Transformers,
Yeah, because it was
I'm with
just
you.
so much going on and it was just so loud and
People love that guy. They say it's so dynamic and cool. It's just not for me.
it's messy. I wasn't a fan, but I kept collecting. I do like the Transformers, and I do
Yeah,
like that new universe that they're setting up between Transformers and G.I. Joe. So I stayed with it, and now Robert Kirkman's basically improving the title. So I'm still sticking with it. It's not the best thing I'm reading, but I've enjoyed it and because it's the top book on this list. I'll probably keep pulling it.
yeah, I'll keep pulling it too, brother. But question for you: Transformers or Ninja Turtles?
Transformers,
GI Joe or Ninja Turtles?
G.I. Joe.
GI Joe or Transformers?
See, here's the thing. G.I. Joe is so much cooler and a better read because I got both, but I always grew up a Transformers fan. I didn't grow
You
up a
did.
G.I. Joe fan. So that's kind of like the nostalgia plays a little bit of factor in like my collecting. I like the title Transformers better than G.I. Joe, but the product of G.I. Joe is better than the Transformers.
Agreed. Plus, shout out my Uncle Ted, big GI Joe guy.
Yeah, and I hope he's grabbing that title because it's actually really good, both the art and writing.
I hope he
It's
is
got
too.
me
I
interested in G.I. Joe, and it's
Yeah.
actually better than the Transformers. I mean, that would be my critic review.
Yeah, I'd have GI Joe at the tippy top.
You know what, though, before we cut it, I was surprised I didn't see Ultimate Spider-Man on this list or Batman Superman's World's Finest. Now, both of those titles probably have so many reviews that it's kind of weighed down, but all in all, like to keep a comic going for like 50 issues is very impressive with Batman Superman's World's Finest. The quality has declined, but it's still a good book for 2025. And then Ultimate Spider-Man was probably my favorite thing I read over the last 12 months, but we'll get into that in our year review.
Facts. And with that, that's the list. We'll catch you next time. You can catch us at CBJ Pod on Instagram. That's the best way to keep up with us. Being a little bit more active on there, we're getting more of the backlog in, even if we're late on some posts somehow. And then also putting more promos there in case you want to see us talk. You want to see me do Undertaker eyes, you can do that. I think I did a little bit less this time. It was hard to adjust to. But also CBJ Podcast on Facebook. Leave a 5-star review if you can. No lower than 4 because that might mess up our average. So I'm thinking 5 would be ideal.
I think that's good, bro. I think fives make sense.
It does make sense. And you can also catch us on YouTube. We got shorts out there in case you're not on Instagram. Follow us wherever. Subscribe. That way you don't miss an episode. It's every 2 weeks if you're new here. Wednesdays, you listen to it on the way to go get your pull. Listen to it on the way home from getting your pull. You know, get you in the comic mood. But yeah, that's another episode for you. We'll, yeah, have our year in review coming up soon. And then we typically have our collecting goals coming up. So the next couple episodes are tried and true tradition. And we'll see what we got for you. Year in review is fun. I gotta say, I got some video games for you, some TV shows, some movies, some more comics, even though we kind of just discussed them here, and some of our top books we got this year, key wise. So stay tuned for that one.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Later.